Just a few days ago, I was speaking to one of my good friends and we were talking about, imagine if Mawlati Fatima az-Zahra salamullahi alayha had a shrine. Of course, we do not know where she was buried, but imagine if she had a shrine. The way in which we flock to Karbala, the way in which we flock to Kazmiyya, to Najaf, to Sham. Imagine if she had a shrine. What would the reaction of the Shia of Ali ibn Abi Talib be? But I think there's a hidden beauty in this. Because by not having a shrine for this glorious lady, and by not knowing where she's buried, we can commemorate her shahada and the shahada of her unborn son wherever we wish to, and act as if we are next to that shrine itself. Thus I ask each and every one of you here today to try and connect with that grave of Mawlati Fatima and her unborn son. Yes, in geographical terms, it's unlikely to be here. However, the fact that we do not know the destination and the location, we can bring it to us. So with every single word of poetry that is being uttered, try and connect. Try and think to as if you were clinging on to the dharih of this beautiful lady and her unborn son. And one of the great perks about these events and the reason why they are run is to develop the English poetry so that each and every one of us here can connect that much more with it. Because English for the most of us here is our native language. So each word that's within all of the poetry that you are going to hear, and each word that's been placed within the latmiyya, the nohas that you're about to hear, have been put in that place for a specific reason. So try and look deeper into the poetry than just on the face of it. Alhamdulillah, over the past few years, the development of English poetry has continued, and long may it continue, because it's brought in new faces. Not only those who were born as Shia, but those who were not before, because they found something that they can relate to, that they can understand. So continue to support these events, inshaAllah. And one thing that we've tried to do with this event, one thing that the organizers tried to do, is to bring through those who have recently started on their journey of writing their love and emotion for the Ahlulbait alayhim as-salam. And one of those poets is my dear brother from the holy city of Birmingham, which I like to say. And inshaAllah we'll now invite my dear brother Zulfiqar Banji with the loudest recitation of salawat upon Muhammad and Ali Muhammad.
God's law a fetter locks about my feet. God's law a fetter locks about my feet, to guard secure the Prophet's high behest. Else had I surely gone about her tomb and fallen prostrate, worshipping her dust. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I thought about Az-Zahra today, and I thought about her holy light that shines in all the heavens in the most perfect way. A tear rolled down my cheek and fell to a realization. O Blessed One, your calamity was a door to all calamities. O the virtuous, it was your grief that was the most grievous. O the luminous, it was your scream at the door that we scream till today. Ya Rasulallah, Ya Rasulallah, Ya Rasulallah. O the pure and chaste, it was because of that nail that we beat our chests till today. And it is because of your patience that I stand here today and can proudly say that we are the Shia of Fatima az-Zahra, defeated they may say but not conquered, and somehow in my grievance I feel my blood return. I feel like the sword of Zulfiqar against its greatest rivals, and I will stand for Fatima's right even if it may be the death of me. I will stand to protect the chief of the women of the worlds, and I will try all that I can for the love of Zahra. And beyond this grief, I will see that the Shia of Fatima az-Zahra you cannot enslave. A loyalty you cannot buy, for you can kill me, torture me or burn. You can kill me, torture me or burn, but never my soul, it is for Zahra. From beyond my tears, I stand here today, Let me revive the forgotten child. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It seems like we have forgotten a lot of things. The child, alhamdulillah, today we remembered. But it seems like we're forced to remember what we're supposed to remember all the time. Seems like it's all turned or is still turning into mundane ritual filled with empty symbols. Seems like knowledge is now not fed but drilled into us, and mostly through words and never actions. Our hearts are tired, jaded and worn. The sky that was clear is now covered with fog. My path I no longer see. All I see is the essence in the distance, in the form of a declining crescent. The light disappears. It's pitch dark. It's pitch dark and I'm agitated and confused, surrounded by enemies of all shapes and sizes. My sins have led me here in bewilderment. I call out for nothing but assistance in this path of least resistance, a call of timeless existence. Alas, my call is answered. Stars surround the crescent, 14 of them in such perfect succession, so fluorescent and luminescent. Who is more worthy to light up my path than the Lady of Light? Who else do I have? Who else do I have to show me the way? Who else do I have to protect me from the enemy but a blessedly, heavenly remedy, so close yet so far from my vicinity? I follow the one and only Fatima Zahra. She fought the jihad of all jihads, jihad in the way of Allah, waged without sword or shield. What courage the love of martyrdom gives. But today, we have an ignorant, narrow-minded man. I ask, where is man and his righteous sword in this era? I see greed, avarice, and man acting to their own negative accord. Maybe, just maybe, if we cared for one another's bread, we would jump aboard Noah's Ark and we would sail under the sunset to salvation. But we just don't seem to be in unison, while powerful persons control and poison, divisions of subdivisions of different ideologies fight and kill, while the righteous in minority jump aboard the ark and depart. Your ticket is timeless and straightforward. Love who you're supposed to love and hate who you're supposed to hate. Remember what you're supposed to remember and forget what you're supposed to forget. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ahsantum, thank you very much. You've now heard the styles that we began with. You've now heard Ibrahim's style of spoken word. We're now going to delve into a new avenue. A reciter who has an absolutely phenomenal voice. And a reciter who in fact started out in the language of Urdu, one of the most popular languages of commemorating and celebrating the lives of the perfect 14 alayhim as-salam. This man and his brother then decided to start venturing into the English realm, if I can so call it. And they've developed further and further and have bridged the gap of the Urdu listening audience towards the English listening audience. And as a result, we've seen numbers increase of interest of those who were always involved with Urdu poetry and now accepting and taking the time to listen to English poetry. So alhamdulillah. And inshallah, he will grace us with his voice. His brother is not here today, unfortunately. However, he will grace us with his voice and with his words of poetry written by himself and his brother. And it will be a very different method of recitation. I do not wish to spoil the surprise. We continue with our majlis in remembrance of Mawlati Fatima Zahra and her dear unborn son, Hazrat Mohsin, by welcoming my dear brother Shabbir Tejani. Please can we welcome him with your loudest of salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Even if they cut my body, into 1,000 pieces. Each piece will call your name. Your name, Hussein. Your name, Hussein. Your name, Hussein. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Respected scholars, distinguished guests, my brothers, my sisters, my children, my elders, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before proceeding, I would like to thank, on behalf of myself and my brother, of course, the organizers of this event for their kind and humble invitation. And I'd also like to thank all of you for coming here. Many of you have come from fair distances away and are now partaking in the commemoration of the death of Sayyidah Fatima and her unborn child, Hazrat Mohsin. Before proceeding, I would just like to pass across two messages to this vast audience here. Firstly, I would like to say that as reciters, we stand here not only to commemorate this occasion, but also to serve all of you in the community. So if there's any requests, anything that you have that you would like myself to recite, please do let us know, let the organizers know, and I'm sure they'll pass it on. And secondly, I think as a community as a whole, we tend to, the encouragement of younger children tends to be something we put on the back burner. And I would like to stand here and say that, inshallah, I hope that from this point onwards, we see more young children who are given the encouragement and, as a result, the confidence to stand up in front of many, many people and recite and express themselves in the way of poetry. I would like to invite as many of the children up here with me if they want to come along to recite, and inshallah we could recite together. So anyone who's interested, please come up. Can we have a loud salawat, please? I've got about 3 poems. The first one is in the memory and the remembrance of Sayyidah Fatima. It just highlights the qualities, and inshallah I hope you listen attentively to the words. Can we have a loud salawat, please? You are the Prophet's daughter, whose blood runs in your veins, who brought Islam to us, and the whole world knows his name. You are the wife of Haydar, the mother of Hussein, who gave his life for his deen and suffered so much pain. Fatima, wherever you are, the truth goes. You are the Prophet's precious rose. Your status only Allah knows. Fatima, you are the lady of the light. You are the highest of the high, the light of our Prophet's sight. You taught us how to live life. You showed us how to care. You taught us how to give, and you showed us how to share. You emphasized on morals and trained us to be fair, no matter if we're paupers or even billionaires. Fatima, your qualities, how can I write? You are the lady of the light, the one that shines out strong and bright. Fatima, you are the lady of the light. You are the highest of the high, the light of our Prophet's eyes. The angels send their blessings upon you all the time. You are the purest lady and are the Prophet's sign. That household that you come from is sacred and divine. For you in heaven there is a special place assigned. Fatima, your father always said of you, you are so honest and so true. There is no one with your virtue. Fatima, you are the lady of the light. You are the highest of the high, the light of our Prophet's eyes. Fatima. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Before coming to this program, I was requested to recite one particular Noha Latmiya Marthiya. It's one that is remembering Imam al-Hussein, but also taking into account the current climate that we live in. The title is I Will Come Crawling to You, Hussein. And for you that know the words, for those of you who know the words rather, please, it would be great if you could join in. Can we have a loud salawat, please? Every day it cuts me inside. I'm so very far from your side. I would give away these eyes just to catch a glimpse of your shrine. If I have to cross the seas and every desert in between, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I can tell you that I'm insane in the love of my master Hussein. In this universe there's no pain that can ever keep me away. Every inch that I come your way, every beat of my heart will say, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you. You just have to look at this world. See your lovers are tortured and hurt. They can use their tanks and their guns. We will stand together as one. They can tear us limb from limb, but our souls will save from within. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you. They can put a gun to my head. They can threaten to shoot me dead. They can wound me till I'm red. They can try to kill me and jet. With my every remaining breath, with every ounce of strength I possess. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will. They say when you breathe your last, you recall your entire past. When my life flashes past so fast, I pray that in my final gasp, death will be the sweetest taste. When I see your radiant face, I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. They can cut my arms and my legs. They can take everything that I have. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling. The Tejani brothers know you've been our guide as we've grown. You have led us down that road where your blessings are bestowed. How can we not then proclaim every moment, every day? I will come crawling to you, Hussein. I will come crawling to you, Hussein. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. You see, the life of this great personality was one that was filled with trials and tribulations. Because after the event of Karbala, after 61 AH, one could see tears in his eyes all the time. And there was never a joyous occasion after that day, that fateful day of Ashura. Can you please join me with the loudest of salawat, and I hope that you can join me as well with the recitation. You taught us the art of supplication. You showed us the power of prostration to make Islam our life's foundation, and how to ask Allah for salvation. Such is your status, O holy soul. You made Allah's love your only goal. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh Sajjad, you were in prison, your feet were in chains, and on the chains splattered were your bloodstains. Inside your heart were the scars of those pains, of what you saw that day on the hard plains. Oh, you are patience personified. You thanked Allah though your hands were tied. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin. Oh, you saw your father's head on a spear, your mother's bareheaded and in fear. Your sister was treated so severe that blood was pouring down from her ear. And yet you were so brave that you spoke, and in the courtyard the world awoke. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh. For 40 long years you kept on weeping, 'cause in your mind Sham kept on repeating the lashes you got and all the beatings. For all these feelings there is no healing. Those memories always will be raw, of what you heard, felt and what you saw. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad. With quaking hands high you dug a small grave, a resting place for Sakina to lay. Her shroud was her shirt covered in blood stains. Till end of time, that is how she will stay. Until today she's so far from home, the prison so dark and she's alone. Until today she's so far from home, the prison so dark and she's alone. Oh my Imam, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh my Imam Zainul Abidin, oh Sajjad. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Before departing from the podium, I would just like all of your attention and contribution as well, inshallah. You see, today we live in a day and an environment and in a society where we're being persecuted for our love for the Ahlulbait alayhim salam. This hatred started from that day, from that moment when the tip of that nail pierced the ribs of Sayyidah Fatima. And today, when we're asked this question from the world, what do you stand for? We say we are from those people for whom death doesn't faze us. So today we say to Imam al-Hussein, when he asked that question on the 10th of Muharram 61 AH, he said, Hal min nasi yansuruna. He wasn't talking to the people that were there with him on that day. He was talking to the generations. He was talking to you. He was talking to me. He was talking to us. Today we make this promise on these very plains in 2014. And we say to Imam al-Hussein, we are with you. We'll stand for what you stood for. And we will stand against what you stood against. And I want you to all raise your hands. My brothers, my sisters, my children, my elders at the back, raise your hands. And today, we will make this promise. We'll say, Labbaika ya Hussein 10 times. Labbaika ya Hussein! 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 Labbaika ya Hussein!